What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 383 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse pod on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. KB, Deej, and Hoots, fresh off his trip to Kansas City, back in the fold with the boys. We got a good one on deck. It's Throwback Weekend in Chi-Town. Deej is excited about the capital of the Midwest, as the PLL put it, to be hosting a PLL weekend once again for the first time since 2019. We will recap All-Star Weekend. We'll talk about Street Lax and Boat Lax, plus the Players Roundtable occurred as well. It's Throwback Weekend. We'll go through all the jerseys. We'll go through all the games. It's a single game weekend for all the teams because it's a neutral site weekend. So nice and simple. Every team is playing this weekend, which is fun. And then, of course, we will get to our picks of the week. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB LaxPod. I'll put this out there. If we get to 2,000 Twitter followers and we get the YouTube channel to 100 subscribers, the OTB channel, I'll send over the duck logo for merch.
That's about that? Happen now.
How about
That's
that?
Huge.
How about that?
Huge.
Or I'll put another caveat. We get to 100 subscribers on the YouTube. That's got to be the staple. And we get to 1,000 followers on Instagram, which we're at like 732 right now, I believe. So whichever one comes first of 2,000 Twitter, 1,000 Instagram, and then 100 subscribers, we'll put the Throwback OTB Duck logo on some merch for the people. So follow us on the socials at OTB LaxPod. Follow Deej on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. You can follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find not only OTB, but all of the shows on our network. We've gained a ton of followers since the start of the season, which is a ton of awesome growth for us. So keep following, share the pod with your friends, your family, your people, and keep on leaving those 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We are 15 subscribers away from our next 100 subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And like I said, also subscribe to the OTB YouTube channel, because once we get to 100 subscribers there, we will have the OTB College Show next season with Deej and Hoots. As always, guys, as you know, over the past couple of weeks, this show proudly presented by our good friends at Rita's in Sewell, New Jersey. They've got the best treats to keep you cool during this summer heat. You can visit them at 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. Bunch of new flavors dropping. They just announced, too, Rita's unlocking the Gummy Bear Italian Ice flavor on July 28th from the vault. Back and bigger than ever. I have tried the orange cream, like the orange cream custard. I'm hooked. I can't get enough of it. It's absolutely delicious. And it's got the CFO Margie seal of approval as well. So that's how you know it's a real banger. Visit our friends at Rita's in Sewell, 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. You can also go to ritasice.com to see the full roster of flavors, treats, and nutritional facts across the board from our friends at Rita's. And we thank Rita's for being a proud presenting partner of the Outside the Box podcast. Hoots, I'll start with you. You're back from Kansas City. How was All-Star break? How was the road trip? #Highway Hoots.
Oh, The highway was just the best part. Just absolutely fantastic. No, but very long drive. It wasn't an awful drive. It's like straight, so that was fine. But the weekend was cool. Seeing the women play 10v10 for the first time I enjoyed that much more than I thought I would. So that was awesome. Skills comp I thought was awesome. The game was awesome. It was just really hot. Was the only real complaint. The barbecue was good. I think I overhyped it in my head, but it was good. I'm not gonna hate. I only tried 2 places, so I do need to go back out there at some point and make the rounds. But it was good. Good to be back shooting PLL and the first of a few for me here in a month. So
yeah, I mean, Deej, I would be sadly mistaken to just not share with the people how hysterical the message was that Hoots sent in our group chat about how excited he was to finally have a PLL weekend to shoot. I am still cracking up about that. That was, you want to talk about perfect movie/TV show out of context usage of a clip. It was that exact clip. When I opened that and saw what it was, I almost dropped my phone from laughter. That was so perfect.
I told you on the phone I was going to send it to you. And I found the clip and I was like, I have to screen record this and send it to them because I was laughing when I was watching it. And I was like, this is exactly how I feel in movie form.
One thing we do have to fix, though, Deej, Hoots has never seen Ted.
Yeah, I have never seen the actual movie. I've only seen the clip.
We got to fix that. That's an all-timer.
Dude, I watched Ted at like 12 or something like that, like some stupid age, and I was not supposed to be watching Ted.
Ted is one of those movies, though, that a majority of people see it at an age that you're not supposed to be watching Ted.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes it so great.
It's like in that category of like when you first watch the first Jackass.
Yes.
Like you're not supposed to be watching it at whatever age you're watching it, but here you are, and it's hysterical, and it forms your childhood.
The first time you stumble across Adult Swim, like
yes.
You're in that age range. You're like, oh, these are cool cartoons.
Whoa, what is that? Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh my god.
All of that.
Top tier animation.
So good. Let's put a quick bow on All-Star Weekend. The wrap-up brought to you by our friends over at Buff. Guys, it's hot out there. Deej, I know how you always get the weather before we do. We literally, I've never seen it the way it was today. When my mom sent me the pictures, I might put them in post. That's how, jaw-dropping it was. We had a true flood warning today.
That rain?
I could have gotten in a boat and just rode down my road. It was that. I've never seen it like that here in my life. I'm going to send you the pictures now because when I saw those photos, my mom said I had to do what they do on TikTok, and I had to take the broomstick to unclog our drain spout.
Not her unclogging drains.
I was screaming, bro.
Hey, those videos can send me down a goddamn rabbit hole. I can watch those for hours.
And Deej, you've been to my house, so
Yes.
know what my road looks like. When you see these pictures, you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!" Because I never thought I would see my road like this. It's like a swamp. But you got to protect yourself from the weather when you're able to walk outside, and that's what our friends at Buff are able to do for you. They've got everything you need for these just brutally hot summer months to protect yourself when you're going out for a walk, a run, a hike, whatever it may be. They're truly the best to protect you from the elements. Use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Buff and make sure that when you're outside, you are fully protected from the sun, the wind, the heat, all of that good stuff. And we thank Buff for being a proud partner of the podcast. Dude, how insane does my road look?
I didn't realize you had a riverfront property, bro.
Literally,
there's no difference between your lawn and the street.
The road.
It's all one level.
I could have gone I could have done backstroke in my street.
Bro said, let me get back in my glory days.
I needed the damn Nigel Thornberry fucking RV so I could just get down the road. It's insane.
That is insane. But yeah, it was like that a handful of days ago here.
Yeah, it's like torrential downpour week. You've heard of Shark Week? It's like flood week here.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to rain. That's because, Deej. That's because this all predates. And I finally I finally got my car back.
Mm-hmm. You did bring that up last pod.
But yeah. Did I bring up the fact that there were parts sitting in my back seat?
I think you brought that up to me individually.
Yeah, it was we found out what the parts were. There's the battery cover, the motor cover, which needs bolts to be fully put in place, and something else that I forget what my dad said it was, but it was literally just a pile of parts.
So they just said, "Hey, we fixed it, but we ain't gonna put it.
We
back
ain't finished
together.
the job."
You got to leave a Google review or something.
Like, it's gonna work without the covers. The covers are cosmetic. Like, you don't really need them. They're just there to make it look good. Like, it's fine.
But it's the principle that they just left them.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Especially when one needs to be bolted down.
Oh, that was all a joke. The cosmetic part. Like, that literally was all a joke. Y'all are bad today. Like, hey, wake up. I'm normally the one falling asleep. Let's go. The both of you.
The car's back. But yeah, it is flood. And the fact that it is raining like this is simply because before the PLL season started, I looked at the schedule, saw when the games were going to happen, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do for myself a nice little service, and I'm going to go to the beach as often as I can. This is exactly what happens. As soon as I put that in the calendar, car goes kaplooey. Don't have it for 2 months. And then the first weekend I have my car, so I don't have to worry about sand getting in a loaner car. It's fucking hurricane season in New Jersey all of a sudden. Can't have nothing nice. Nothing nice. But All-Star Weekend happened in Kansas City. Very fun.
I mean, you could have just went and bought some sand and made the beach at home.
Yeah, it would have got absorbed out there. It would have been like kitty litter.
You could have put the sand on your driveway. Just put your legs.
Yeah, just put it on your front porch, dog. Right there.
It was so funny. Like 7 o'clock rolled around, and like the sun was just like beaming. And my dad goes, "Why does the sun want to come out now?" It's like it's been dark all day. Now all of a sudden you want to come out and play.
Those are the worst days.
Oh, so funny. I mean, I feel like one of the highlights of All-Star Weekend was Graham Hosick truly showcasing that he is a literal cyborg and breaks the fastest shot record in the most casual fashion of all time. Like, didn't even like have a running start, just a casual crow hop, and boom, breaks it, goes 123 to go to the final, and then in the final, technically breaks it again, the initial record of 121, goes 122 to win the fastest shot competition. We had Graham Hosick in
it was 125.
That's what everyone was like hoping he would go. But he never hit 125. He went 122.
It was 123. Was the official record.
The official record in the the opening round, and then 122 was the final against Matt Campbell.
He absolutely can get to 125 though.
Yeah,
there's no doubt in my mind.
Bro, I'm telling you, he can get to 130 if he took the running start that everybody else took.
Yes,
dude's getting to 130.
People underestimate how his legs are too.
Yeah,
his legs are like trunks.
If people would take a second to look at the selects that our boy Hoots put out, they could see the muscle in the man's leg to know he's got strong legs.
Facts.
Just saying.
We had Graham Hosick in the post All-Star game press conference. This is the message. We are putting the cyborg signal out there. We need Graham Hosick on this podcast. He is so goddamn funny. Like, he's one of those players that nobody really knows all that much about. Went to a no-name school in the grand scheme of like lacrosse schools for college. Canadian guy, keeps to himself a lot, and he's just a demon out on the floor, out on the field. The fact that I was enamored by anything he said in that press conference. I was like, we need this guy in a podcast platform like right now. He's so fucking funny. And just the way that because he was in there with Dauber, the way those two bounce off of each other is second to none and was so hilarious. But like, this is the cyborg signal. Graham Hossack, open invite to come on the pod whenever. I know you follow us on all social media platforms too. So let's make it happen, bud, because I need like 35 minutes with Graham Hossack on the show because he is hysterical. And he said like Dauber's the one that like challenged him to do the fastest shot because he's never clocked it before in his life. And Dauber was like, yeah, you can break the record easily.
He wasn't lying.
Well, bingo. Proof in
Bada
the
boom.
Proof in the pudding.
I also got to say, hey, kudos to Matt Campbell. He went out there and did his thing. You know, everyone was discrediting him because he was the lone short stick in the competition. People sleep on how powerful of a shot Matt Campbell has. Not this podcast. We are very pro Matt Campbell on this show. I was like, when he ripped in the opening round, I was like, hell yeah, Matt Campbell. Like, go and prove all these fucking doubters wrong. Because he gets so slept on for how good he is. And I'm not even saying he's underrated because, like, he's going to be one of the stars of Team USA in the Olympics. But that dude does not get enough credit for how good of a player he is and how he's just, like, stepped his game up year over year. And he showcases it even in a skills competition when he shoots 112 with a shorty. Like, not many players in the PLL are doing that. And Matt Campbell makes it look casual.
I mean, it is casual to him. Have you seen him shoot? Like that? That's just how he shoots every time. Like, I swear, every time I'm watching a game on ESPN, because I happen to not be there, it seems like every single one of his shots is 95 plus. Every single one. Like, you look at the MPH come up down on the scoreboard, it's 95 plus every single time. A lot of them are triple digits. Like, the dude just shoots hard. It's like he's shooting to break the net every single time he shoots. He's one of those angry shooters. Like, it's like him. I think Dylan Malloy's an angry shooter.
We gotta put that on a shirt.
Who am I thinking of right now? Give me just a second. Brennan O'Neill is an angry shooter.
I mean, the way he described it, Marcus Holman shoots like he's...
Sometimes Marcus Holman is an angry shooter. Like, there's like, you can see there's times where like he's just going to place the ball because he's like, okay, I just need to put this in a specific spot to score.
Jack Hanna.
And there's other times where he's like, I'm absolutely unloading the cannon and this thing's going to go wherever it goes. Mm-hmm. Jack Hanna's an angry shooter.
That one he had in the All-Star game was crazy.
Woo!
Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty.
Miles
can be an angry shooter at times.
I want to see Miles in a fastest shot competition.
I think Chris Kluch is an angry shooter.
Perk in his heyday was an angry shooter.
Dude. Motor City Hitman was the angriest shooter. But like that's my favorite type of shooter is a guy that just wants to rip the net apart. Like, just and then it's even better when they're a guy like Marcus who is picking a spot. Dylan Malloy is picking a spot. Ryan Brown was also an angry shooter. But he was like the most graceful angry shooter I've ever seen. Like, homie's gonna shoot it 1,000 miles per hour, but it's gonna be right in the perfect spot it's supposed to be in every time.
It's like Ryan Drenner, no?
Drenner.
No, like Drenner like shoots like that, but he picks the spot like Ryan Brown does.
He's back in that tilt guide drip. Like, bro is back in that tilt guide energy bad, and that's bad for the PLL. Well, that's great for the PLL, bad for other teams not named Boston, because you can't stop that man when he's on this kind of swag. He's literally unstoppable.
We got to put
you seeing the right and left hand. You seeing all the magic right now. Like Ryan Drenner, that's my
our guy.
That's my guy. RD22 is cook.
Chef Boy RD.
Cooking.
I love that that's his Twitter handle.
Yes.
It's so good.
Chef Boy RD is perfect.
Magnificent. We got to put angry shooter on a shirt.
Yes.
We got to adopt that, like, what's his name from NFL Network? Why am I blanking on his name? Kyle from Good Morning Football. The angry runs.
I didn't know that was a thing. I don't watch Good Morning Football. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Kyle Shanahan? No.
Kyle Brandt?
Kyle Brandt. He does like the angry runs, and then he sends like the angry run scepter to like the player of the week with that, and then they get a shirt that says like angry runs on it. We got to do that for angry shooter of the week.
Yes,
that's actually a fire idea.
That is a great idea. We need to find a logo for angry shooter.
That is copyright trademark Outside the Box podcast.
Because like all
rights reserved.
All I'm thinking is like those little alcohol shooters and like putting like an angry face on it of some sort with it like having like super buffed up arms, like shooting a lacrosse ball or something like that. That's all that like is in my head at the moment.
We need someone, and I don't want it to be AI because AI sucks. We need to find somebody who is an artist to draw us like a demon duck with like a stick that's like on fire, like
yes,
ripping a shot.
Yes,
that's what we need. So if you are a graphic designer, slide in our DMs because we are very serious about this. Because that would be sick.
I'd be all about angry shooter.
Which we may have to tweak it a little bit just so it doesn't get taken out of context, and then we end up on the fucking stupid account that is run by a nincompoop now.
Yeah, you're right.
You know. I gotta say,
such a funny word.
It's so underused too.
It is.
It's so old timey, but it's so deep.
About to pull that out the vault.
Yo, get a load of this nincompoop over here. I gotta say, Deej, you nailed it on the head. I mean, I was right along with you. The WLL stuff was amazing, just awesome, top to bottom, so much fun. And I love that the coaches in the WLL All-Star game after the game were basically talking about like essentially like comment, no comment, talking about the players who were fresh out of college and them kind of getting a first look scout at them and everything for their future teams and stuff. I love that there was success from the girls coming straight out of college and them just balling out. Like it was very simple adjustment for them, and they looked every bit of the part alongside the players we've seen play in the WLL so far in Athletes Unlimited. Like they looked prepared for the pro style, and that game was so entertaining. It was just nonstop action back and forth, and we said it from the jump. We have been all over it. This is an Izzy Skane Stan podcast. Shout out Mama Skane. Izzy's a demon. She's unbelievable. And the fact that she's that good while being as humble as she is, like she talked about how like she felt awkward that the team name was Team Izzy. And she said, Rosie asked in the press conference, like he was like, now that you've won, like, do you still have like weird feeling about the name? And she was like, I just felt weird because like my real name's not Izzy. She's like, it's Isabel. And they went with Team North. So like not using my last name felt awkward. And she was like, but no, it's fine now. And I was like, you're the most humble human being that you feel awkward about an all-star team being named after you. And then you go out there and go on demon time and lead every single player in points. I'm also jealous that Hoots got to watch that performance up close and personal.
First off, that's the most important thing here. He was there and I was not. Well, we were not. Like, I mean, being able to see high-level women's lacrosse in person is completely different than seeing it on TV, which is completely different than not seeing high-level women's lacrosse. I love women's lacrosse, but there's levels. And the high-level stuff is a lot more exciting to watch than some of the lower-level stuff. And being able to see the highest of levels right in front of your face in a space where they're literally just excited to be playing. They could care about who wins or loses. They can care about how many points they score. They can care about what happens. They just want to have a good time and leave the game safely. Like, you can't beat that. And we got an amazing show this weekend. As much as Izzy was humble and went out there and did her thing as a team captain and one of the best players in the world, on the opposite side, Charlotte matched that energy step for step and was doing everything in her power to get her team to win, and was still proving to be the best women's player, or one of the best, if not the best women's player on the planet at the moment. It was just so fun to watch them just be creative and have fun. You could tell they were trying a lot of things that they hadn't tried in the past, because like they felt like it was kind of just a time to enjoy the game and see what they could do. I really just thoroughly enjoyed it. I went into the weekend thinking I would thoroughly enjoy that game, and that would be the most exciting part that I was looking forward to the most, and it absolutely was.
Yeah, and you could totally tell that like they were relaxed and having fun, but there was also a good compete level as well. That was like they were actually showing off the sport, which was super cool to see. Like there was a bunch of, I didn't count how many teams of like women's teams that were there, like high school girls, and they were all into it. Like it, from at least from what I could hear from behind me, like the crowd seemed into it. The game itself was good. I thought, like you said, Kyle, like the fresh out of college players, like I was impressed with them. I was impressed with the girls we already knew. Like at some point when this becomes like a full-fledged like thing, I think it's going to do numbers, because it's done well in sixes, and now it's done well in 10v10. And yeah, it was, I mean, watching Izzy Skane, when she scored those 4 in a row, I was like, bro, she give her MVP right now.
And then she dropped the bar of all bars when I asked her about like that sequence, because all of those goals like went down, like some of them, if not all of them, went down unassisted, and she just immediately said there's no such thing as unassisted goals. I was like, put it on a shirt. Yeah. Put it on a shirt, Izzy. I was like, that's a bar.
That is a bar. I'll rock with that heavy.
And on top of that, we also got to make the connection here, because she's right in my backyard. Rachel Clark's Philly's own. We got it. Watching her in this All-Star game, you want to talk about like rising star? Like I knew the lore of Rachel Clark, but watching her play amongst, the Charlotte Norths, Emily Harris-Chuck, and like this team, she led everybody on Team North in points. Like she outscored Charlotte North by 1 to lead the team in points. She shot 50%. She's so fun. And like you said, Hoots, when the WLL is fully entrenched, has their 8 teams, like Paul mentioned, in the state of the league, if she ends up on a Philadelphia team, oh my days. But like any team she ends up on, she has the star power and the skill power to be a face of a franchise.
Yeah, she and it's funny too, because like obviously we all knew Izzy and Charlotte were gonna do their thing, but when Rachel started going off, I was like, "Ooh, this is incredible." Because you can just envision like you're saying, at some point, like she's going to be a Charlotte North of a team, and I think it just reinforces the idea that like we're making good steps in the right direction. That like this is gonna become a legit thing. It should already be a legit thing, for being honest, but yeah, it was watching all of them was just crazy.
And I mean, on Izzy's team too, like Sam Apuzzo, same boat. Like she had 6 points, 5 goals. Like she didn't skip a beat. She shot 71.4%. Like she was on demon time. And the thing I love about the WLL, and I've heard a lot of people say the same thing about the WNBA from like just a media standpoint. We experienced it at Champ Series with all of the WLL teams, and now with the All-Star game, like coaches, players, they're all just so like thrilled to be there and are so willing to just like talk to the media and like give you great like quotes and talking points and things to just like dwell on and think about. And that's what I love so much about like us being able to dive into now covering women's sports too is they're just so humble and they're so willing, and it's so refreshing to like kind of get there, because covering a multitude of your traditional sports, of men's sports, a lot of guys will be kind of sheltered and closed off because they don't want to share a lot of things, which is fine. But when you get almost everyone from the stars to the lower level players, and that's no disrespect whatsoever, but you know, you have your tier lists of different players and everything, every single person is just open and willing to just talk. And it's so awesome. And they're just so thrilled to be there. And they're always like grateful about the opportunity. And that's truly one of the big things that I love when we get a chance to cover WLL events, is that like I know we're in for an amazing conversation with whomever is at the podium. And on top of that, too, Sam Smith was a demon. 39 of 45. Come on, man. Like,
I had my family texting me during the game, and they were like, yo, this girl's dominating every face-off.
Literally.
It got to a point where I was like, I don't know if she's lost. Like, I don't know how you win that many in a row.
Like, it was
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, she's the reason. She's a large reason why they win the game.
Yeah.
I think that if they didn't have her there, like that game is, I mean, it already was close at 4 goals, but maybe overtime, maybe Team North wins because they just have the ball more. Like, just the amount of time, even though it was a 32-second shot clock off the, the draw control, just winning it and having that opportunity to score and taking 32 seconds off the clock, being ahead every time, was huge for them. And it's probably just, it's so like mentally taxing to the other team, like basically knowing you're going to lose the face-off.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there as a coach, like playing teams and just like knowing the face-off guy is good. Like, I don't have a lot of chances to have the ball. Like, so when I get it, like we need to take care of it, and we're going to slow it down. We're going to run what we want to run to try and score. Like, it's not fun. Like, there was a point, not this past season, but the season before, where I set a certain play for when we played teams that were that had a really good face-off guy. I just called it locks, and I would put a pole on the face-off, and then everybody else on the field would just lock off. Everybody else would find a guy and lock off, and then it's just one-on-one with our pole against their face-off guy, hoping to turn him over. It worked every now and then. Other times it just led to a lot of easy fast break goals. But when it worked, it worked.
So yeah, I mean, WLL All-Star Game, their portion of the skills competition was awesome. I think my big critique would be it's very minimal, was the fact that Charlotte and Izzy had to compete in their finals of their skills competition the next day after playing in a game. I would like to see what they could have done fully rested. It's a minor critique that I'm sure when the capabilities are there, it will be fixed. But that was my only like, damn, I would like, what if like type of situation from the finals of the skills competitions there. And I mean, 24-20 in an all-star game is nothing to sneeze at either. That's what you want on full display on ESPN2 to showcase the women's game, is a high scoring back and forth affair. So shout out to Team North, shout out to Team Izzy and Izzy Skane on that MVP type flow. And then the PLL All-Star Game, the West survived the late comeback from the East, 15-13. Brennan O'Neill, your PLL All-Star Game MVP. Shout out to the boy. I don't know what clicked for the East in the second half, but they just like remembered that they were playing a game, because it was 12-3 at halftime, and it ends up being a 1-score game. I mean, good adjustments there. Jack Canna and Marcus Holman were like, yo, let's just fuck it, we ball, and go out and score some disgusting goals. Dylan Hess was magnificent. Like, that behind the back goal was awesome. But I mean, like, I don't know what clicked. I don't know what Sweet Lou or Brian Holman said to those boys in the locker room at halftime to get them going, but Hoots, I'm sure you were probably like, this is just the Denver Outlaws watching right here.
Dude, that first half, I was sitting there with a smile, just shooting away. I was like, this is incredible. And then I don't know if like the West quit trying or something, but at one point, like they changed who was in the game. And I put in our chat when the East was coming back, I was like, time for Brandon to get back in the game. Because I wanted him to win MVP. And like right after that, they put him back in, and all of a sudden the West finally gets a goal. I'm like, dude, you got to score more than once, like in this quarter. But yeah, Pat Cav was sensational. Brennan was awesome. Pacino had a crazy game. So as an Outlaws fan, that was cool. And honestly, seeing both Cavs play together again was also really cool. And Malloy getting some run too was nice.
My biggest confusion was, I don't know if it was just like, because I know he's on the injury report this week, but like Connor Fields just did not play. And I was like, one, I was very annoyed because he was on my fantasy team, and I was like, why did he not play? And it was just like nobody even like mentioned it, that like Connor Fields was just like not playing. Also the fact that Jared Newman just like has these like Delta airline escapades to get to PLL weekends. If you follow Jared on Instagram, you'll see everything that I'm talking about. Like, he lives the craziest life in the sky. And I know, Deej, you have some crazy events in the sky too. But seeing what Jared does, I'm just like, brother, how do you function? Like, he missed the connecting flight or something this week, and Delta hooked him up with like a vehicle to get to the next destination he needed to go to and all this stuff. He went from Bryce, shout out to the boy, friend of the program, Bryce Wasserman, last week gets married at the Titan Stadium, and Jared was there and then is playing in San Diego the next day. Like, Jared Newman is the PLL's version of the most interesting man, because I never know where I'm going to see Jared Newman's location be from week to week. Actually, honestly, from day to day, because he's always on the move.
We need Jared and Deej to have a kumbaya, so that way he can pass along some of these good travel secrets to Deej.
I think Jared and Deej are good. He didn't like his drink selection.
Yeah, that's the only beef we've ever really had.
Jared's a good friend of the program.
About I don't even want to think about that day.
No, I'm just saying, so that way next time you have bad travels, you can get hooked up with a car.
Hey,
or
bad travels will not exist for me anymore. I got TSA pre-check. I'm Gucci
on the up and up. Look at you,
hey, bro. After last time, I couldn't afford it. I literally was in the airport crying. Like, I refuse to go through that again.
Kind of a full season spectrum of this, but are either of you as like walking on eggshells as I am every single week that I see Jeff Teat on the injury report with a left Achilles strain, and then he's playing in the All-Star game, and when they don't show the replay of him actually just taking one to the groin area, when they say, oh, Teat's coming up limp, I'm like, oh, fuck. Why is Jeff Teat, like, I get you're an all-star, buddy. Why are you playing in this game when you have a left Achilles tightness injury that has been on the injury report practically all season? It makes my skin crawl just like worrying about him.
Yeah, should not be playing.
I don't think he should be playing, but I don't think, like, I didn't panic because I actually saw him get nut cup. Like, I saw the nut check. Like, I saw it. It was like, dude, and it wasn't on purpose. Like, he took a check and did a poke, and he caught him, and it was immediate. Like, he reacted to it. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, he's limping, but like, I saw that like homie's nomads are in his stomach right now. Like I totally get it.
You mean gonads?
I totally get it.
You mean gonads, right? Not nomads.
Hey, it's all the same.
Hey, wake up.
But in all actuality, he should not be playing. If I don't even want to say it, I'm going to knock on wood as I'm saying this, but we have seen 3 times in the past few months.
The NBA Finals, like playoffs, is just terrified.
The playoffs. We saw it happen 3 times in the NBA playoffs this year, where guys are doing the same thing Teat is doing, and then rupturing their Achilles.
Like, it scares me.
And with as much similarity as there is between lacrosse and basketball, and the movements you make, and the pivots and the planting, it's a possibility that happens to Jeff Teat, all because, in my opinion, they're not managing this injury well. Maybe
we don't know what's going on behind the scenes either.
We don't know the severity. Yeah, and we don't know the severity of the injury, but from what we know about calf injuries and strains and tightness and what it has led to in past with other athletes, it doesn't look good.
Just every time I see his name on that injury report with that injury designation, my skin crawls.
I mean, anybody with that injury destination makes my skin crawl. It's
the worst.
It's the pathway to the worst, one of the worst injuries ever.
But overall, very entertaining All-Star game, nonetheless. Like, started out looking like it was going to be very shitty at halftime, and then the East made it great. Brian Holman dropping an F-bomb on ESPN was phenomenal. Narrator said, in fact, they did not trust it, and it did not work, unfortunately. I was hoping for overtime. That would have been fucking sweet. If Holman dropped that line in the huddle, and then it goes to overtime, that's just an all-time moment in All-Star game history of him just being, you got to fucking trust it. It's going to work. And then someone hits it. Oh, my God. That would have been unbelievable. But, yeah, very fun All-Star weekend. It seemed like everybody enjoyed. Kansas City has a spot for the PLL to go to. The stadium looked great on TV. Hoots, how was the overall stadium?
It was one of the cooler stadiums I think I've been to, as far as like of that size.
Mm-hmm.
Like it probably helps that like it opens up to where like the sun is setting essentially, but it's not like in a bad way where it's like in your face. So like the lighting from that perspective was great. The coloring of the stadium was awesome. From what I saw of like the suites and whatnot, like those were cool. Grass was exceptional. Like obviously they play soccer there, so it's automatically just going to be great. But yeah, it was one of my favorite small stadiums.
Mm-hmm. It felt like the perfect stadium for the PLL.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna have to go back there.
Yeah, it feels like the relationship
at least 2 or 3 more times to get fans to show up. Not that there was like no fans, but just it's a new thing. You're on 4th of July weekend, like right. People are already busy. Like you could see there was a clear jump from day 1 to day 2 of like, okay, people are free, like they have time, and then also like they didn't have everyone like on one side, so it was on both. Because I already know there's gonna be people on social media that are gonna try to nitpick all these freaking photos. You know who you are. You keep coming in our mentions every single week about it. It's not that big a deal. Like there were thousands of fans. It was great. They were cheering loud. And honestly, if they go back there, like I said, 2 or 3 more times, I think that place is probably filling up or getting close to.
Yeah, and I mean the relationship that the owners of the Kansas City Current seem to have with Paul, Mike, Rachel, like it feels like that's going to be a place we see.
Yep.
Not only host an All-Star game, but maybe in the future of like Chicago or Fairfield or Minnesota getting a team in the future too for the PLL, you shift Kansas City to being like a neutral site and then test that out for, like you said, the 2, 3, 4 years and kind of see like what the turnout is, how you draw attendance wise, and then you test it. And it feels like Kansas City could be a real option for a WLL team before a PLL team.
And I've even said too, like, I think the NLL should look at going there as well. Because if you look at KC as a whole, like, they obviously have the Chiefs and the Royals. They're sports heads for those teams. But they also have a lot of, like, minor league teams, like minor league hockey and whatnot. And, like, they show out for those things. So if you can get people to just give it a chance, especially if you give them an actual weekend with 4 games, maybe throwing a WLL game or something in there too, like, I think it's going to do well, honestly.
And the Blues aren't far, so
right.
You have kind of that hockey crossover to come and it's and bolster.
And it's one of those things that it feels like it's one of those untapped lacrosse markets in all the right ways. Like, you see different places that people clamor for to bring the PLL, the NLL, WLL, whatever it may be, and it's just like, I don't know if that works. Just seeing an all-star game there and the treatment by the Kansas City current ownership and just the way that the players talked about just how Kansas City kind of treated them, I was like, this feels like a place that could really end up being, dropping a pin on the map for the PLL, in particular the WLL, and being like an institution spot, right in the heartland of America.
The heartland.
I also loved in the post-game press conference, the Cavs brought up Wheaton Jacoboyce was their like tour guide for the weekend because he's a Kansas City guy. And Pat Cav casually, I don't know if it's on the transaction wire, Pat Cav casually just dropped, Wheaton Jacoboyce retired this year.
No, that was
it on there?
That was put out there. Yeah, that was.
I couldn't remember if
there was posts from like the Whip Snakes, and I think he made a retirement post and everything.
But yeah, he said that Wheaton was their like tour guide and let them know places to go. I was like, it's good information there. Good information there.
I mean, he did spend 2-3 years with them at Notre Dame, so I wonder if they like allow. The PLL probably saves money that way and like allows them to stay with like friends and stuff. I mean, maybe even
in general, I'm sure too.
Yeah, especially like if they're going like home. Like if it's within driving distance.
I mean, I'm 99% certain. Like Michael Sowers told me when they're in Philly, like he stays at his parents' house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't they allow them to do that? Yeah, like why wouldn't they allow him to do that? Yeah, save a couple $100 in a hotel room. Works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be shocked if they're like, no, you can't do that.
I mean, I wouldn't be like shocked because I could see it being like a liability thing, like the whole like, oh, like you're here with us, like we want to make sure that like we know where you are and what's going on and this and that. But then I could also see them going, yeah, go home.
But also you like hear like the major 4 sports like guys talk about all the time, like, oh, I can finally sleep in my own bed tonight because I'm in my hometown.
But I mean,
but even they go to like hotels a lot of times. Like the home team will just go and spend the night or whatnot.
I think that's on like I think a lot of that is on back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Probably just to keep the team like together and focused.
Right.
Who knows?
But yeah, good All-Star Weekend overall. I think it was one of the more overall entertaining All-Star Weekends from somebody watching from home. Second best All-Star jerseys, hands down, just behind 2019. And yeah, shout out to Kansas City for putting on a show. It's Throwback Weekend, boys. Deej, you're going to be in Chicago this weekend. First solo PLL weekend for you since Utah?
Yes. Solo as in not with you.
Without me?
Yeah. Because I am bringing my high school goalie is going to be going with me.
I've been replaced already, everyone.
Oh, get out of here.
Damn, only took one weekend.
This dude. I'm the one that gets replaced all the time.
I go by myself. I don't bring guests.
No, so I would have felt really bad if I asked to stay at his house and then not offer him to go, as he's a former player and this
he's got guest passes out here.
I mean, hey, when you're an MVP on PLL,
that's one of your hidden perks.
You get free tickets.
You get a guest pass for a week.
I mean, when you don't need your free tickets, then yeah, it becomes a guest pass.
Oh, it's hysterical. It's Throwback Weekend in the PLL this weekend. It's Hall of Fame weekend, and it was Street Lacrosse, and turns out to be Boat Lacrosse weekend as well in Chicago. The jerseys made waves one way or another for a lot of teams. I just have to come out here and say I think my defense of the Water Dogs jersey was taken out of context, because I never said it was the best jersey, but I do like the Water Dogs jersey. So for the people coming at my throat, fuck off. I love Throwback Weekend because they come up with these awesome old school logos. I can't remember if the Whip Snakes logo is the same as last year's, because all of their throwback logos look so different. And I can never tell if they keep it the same or not. I think it is, but I'm not 100% certain. But the jerseys were revealed, and I got to say, I like a majority of them across the board. They typically do a good job with the throwback jerseys, and I think collectively this year, I like the jerseys as a total collective more than last year's.
I agree with that.
Do I agree with that?
Like, I think Carolina is an upgrade.
Yes,
it's a drastic upgrade.
Yes,
I think. Let me pull up all of them because it's only showing 5 of them on the website I'm on right now. I vaguely think New York's is an upgrade. I can't remember theirs from last year.
They had the New York like crossing the chest.
Yes, 100% an upgrade this year. I like the Water Dogs. I like the inclusion of a third color. Everyone's talking about, oh, it's the Eagles. It's the Eagles. I didn't view it as the Eagles right away. Like, it's cool that it's green. It really reminds me of the Mummers. And if you know what the Mummers are, just look at Jason Kelsey's outfit after the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018. It's a big, like, institution thing in Philadelphia. It's a New Year's type of thing. Very like Mardi Gras, but make it Philly. Those colors are like institutional staple colors of Mummers outfits, and that's what it reminded me of. Like, that's what I'm referring to it as. It's their Mummers jersey. I like it. I also like that, if I'm looking at it correctly, it looks like the shoulders have the paw prints on them this year, which looks pretty sweet. I like that addition as well. Deej, how do you feel about the Redwoods? I'm torn.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were thinking about the throwback jerseys and like what was going to happen. I was like, the one thing I said I didn't want them to do is what they did. I didn't want it to be a base white jersey.
Yeah.
And here we are with a base white jersey. I knew they were one of the possible teams to get one. And they've had base white in the past for their throwback jersey. I actually think more often than not, they've had the base white for throwback, which, I mean, it looks fine. I don't hate it. I think personally, if you ask me, get rid of the California outline and just like make the bear bigger and then just put Cali across the front.
Yeah, the bear feels very small.
Or put Woods across the front. Like, I think that would just be like perfect. But like, other than that, I think it looks fine. Low key would like the trees to stay on the collar.
Yes.
I think that would have been a sick look with this too.
Or at least on the sleeves.
I was going to say on that white middle line, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Put some trees there.
I'm cool with added trees anywhere, but I like the jersey overall. I just think
I do think the Bears
a couple things they could have
the
done
Bears
better.
too small. Now that I'm looking, I was like, what is wrong? The Bears too small.
Yes, that's like the one thing that like even if they didn't change anything else, making the bear bigger would make this better.
Yeah.
But if they like, in my opinion, if you're going to do that, scrap the state overall, make the bear bigger, and then make a few other changes too. Maybe go base yellow.
Yeah, I would have liked.
We don't get a lot of yellow with the woods. But yeah, overall, I still think it's pretty good.
Now it does look like they're doing yellow shorts.
Yeah, I do like the yellow shorts instead of the gray that they've been doing in the past. Which the gray looked fine, but I think the yellow will be a nice. I think it fits the color scheme a little bit better, and I think it'll make the white pop a little bit more for these jerseys.
I like the Archers. It's very like just clean for them. Good logo, good coloring, and I like the collar a lot. I think the only thing, like, it looks fine. I just don't know fully how I feel about Utah being just on the sleeves. I think it's
there's
better
also
than
the Archer dude in it as well on the sleeve.
Interesting.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, I can kind of see it now. Okay. I do like it better than just the giant U that we had.
Yes.
Like, it's a definite massive upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the U last year I did not really like.
I like that they're going MLL throwbacks for the Cannons and the Outlaws. I just have gripes with just how those jerseys were back then. There's just certain things just from an aesthetics point of view that I'm just like, man, if there was like a little tweak here and there. I like the Cannons logo. That logo's sweet.
Yeah.
This is just my own personal preference. I hate the mini number in the top. I hated it when it was on the All-Star jerseys that way too. It's like, I personally feel like there's no point in having it up there when you have the giant number on the back. Like, I don't necessarily feel like having from a refereeing standpoint, which is probably the only reason it would be there, to have to squint if they're looking at somebody forward to see what number it is. I see no value in that. So that's my only gripe, just from an aesthetics point of view on the Cannons jersey. Everything else looks pretty clean. I love the gray outline on the back of the jersey number. Sleeves look awesome. Other than that, it's pretty solid across the board. Hoots, I'm sure you were doing backflips when you saw the Outlaws.
Yeah, I mean, mostly just because of nostalgia, but I'm with you. Like, it's a little weird because of like the cut of the new jerseys with the lines, both the gray and the orange lines. Like, even like if you look at the back view, I think it looks kind of strange. And like the white collar.
Yeah, the white collars.
Like, I appreciate that they went back to this because last year I wanted them to use it since they had access to it. But I feel like tweaking it a little bit more to fit like the current PLL mold would have been better. Same with Boston. Like,
yeah,
it's fine. I'm probably going to end up getting one at some point, but it's not the best of these in my opinion. And also, again, when are we getting an orange jersey? Still waiting.
When are we using that skull logo?
Yeah, that as well. Imagine next week if they drop that for Indigenous. That'd be sweet. Anyway,
Deej, I also have to say this. I have a scorching hot take revision for you as we go into Throwback Weekend, seeing all the jerseys. Are you ready for this?
I'm listening.
The porthole mesh jerseys are so much better than the MLL style jerseys. You knew my take back in the day. I was not a fan of the porthole all that much, but then as soon as I got the one that I'm wearing now, shout out Matt DeLuca, seeing it versus the MLL style of jersey and seeing all like the throwback videos of the MLL days, god damn, I hate that.
So I think old style MLL jerseys fit lacrosse throwback more because it like puts you in a time period of lacrosse. And it's like, oh, like the MLL was like this during this time. Like people were wearing these jerseys, doing these things. These guys were in the league. These teams were winning, championships. Versus like Porthole is like just throwback sports, like throwback outdoor sports. Like it just fits throwback so well because like every sport damn near was wearing Porthole mesh. So like you can't go wrong going Porthole when you're thinking throwback. But like I like that Boston and Outlaws have like that callback to a specific time period with their jerseys. Like I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Like obviously if I have to make a choice, I'm going Porthole just because I like the design, I like the feel, I like the look. But the benefit and the excitement and attraction of having that time period connected to those MLO jerseys is amazing.
I like that they're doing that for those two teams. I'm just saying from a pure aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah, the Porthole looks a lot better.
Give me the Porthole. It looks so much better than just the aesthetics of what the MLO jerseys were.
Okay, I'll say if they picked better ones. I don't think the Outlaws one is terrible. But I do think both Boston and the Outlaws had better jersey options. But also I'm wondering if they chose specific year. Like if they did like 2005 to be like 20 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
because the Cannons keep talking about it being like the 25-year thing.
Yeah, so maybe they went with the ones from 2000, which like makes sense. But it's also like do better. Not necessarily do better, like this is bad, but like do better. Like there's some really good options for these teams. Let's take those ones.
Like I'll even say like this is not the best PLL era Cannons throwback. It's the one that Sierra wore with Ryan Drenner, obviously. Like that is a piece of art. And then the obvious one, which I think is the worst one, is the Maryland Whipsnakes.
I mean, it's Maryland.
Stinky.
What's good about it?
I'm with you, Hoots. I hate the shoulder striping.
Bad. It's so bad.
We said it last year, Deej. It just looks incomplete.
Yes.
It looks like somebody started coloring in like a fill-in. This number gets this color. This number gets it, and they just stopped doing it because their food came to the table. It's like the play mats for the kids at a restaurant, and it's like numbered gets this color, and then the food came out, and they just forgot to keep coloring.
Yeah, and this is the second year that they've done that too. Same stripes. Like
it's bad.
I will say I do think these ones look a little bit better than last year, just because
it's not yellow.
Well, there's a little bit of yellow in there, but these ones actually, like come all the way around. Like you can't see it very well, but like it does encompass the entire
flip it to the back
shoulder.
view.
Like it goes all the way around the shoulder, whereas the other ones literally just stopped. So it's like they're slightly better, but it's still just it doesn't look good.
It just looks like they're wearing a basketball jersey.
It doesn't.
I never noticed.
Sorry, but
holy shit, I never noticed that. It's so true.
It doesn't look good.
It's like a screen printed basketball jersey with sleeves.
This is why, like, as soon as I saw it, I just couldn't unsee. Like, it looks like it's like bunched up, and then I saw the basketball thing, and now I'm just like, I can't.
I also think what throws it off is from that incomplete kind of like take. Is they're using that non-filled in white part to be like a white stripe, but it blends to the white sleeve. So then it looks like it's the sleeve is like ending there. And it's just like bad choice of like color numerology there.
Yeah. Like the white should have been somewhere in the middle so that you have a solid color on the end so that you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, Maryland's not good at anything, so I don't care.
I also wish for the Whips, the Water Dogs, and the Redwoods, like we said, I wish they had designs on their collar like the Archers, New York, and Carolina.
Yeah, the trees on that Redwoods jersey would take it one more notch up.
Oh, yeah. That would be that, and then, like we said, like making the bear bigger. Or even if you did, you know what I would have loved if they could have like taken that bear and just done the face of the bear and made that bigger. I think that would have looked pretty cool.
Well, I mean, that's like throwing it back to like last year. basically. Taking that bear that was the O, blowing that up, putting it in the middle, and then putting Cali and forward Cali across the front.
And I'm even saying the bear that's on there now, like if they had a front-facing artwork of that, like with the sunglasses and everything, just that bear's face, that would have been sweet.
I mean, if you're gonna do front-facing, might as well just do full body still, and then just blow them up. I really just think it's too small, regardless of how it looks.
Yeah,
in terms of orientation, it's just too small.
And I love Carolinas. I'm a sucker for Deej. You and I were a sucker for anything black and red. I love the diamond collar design. I think that's sweet.
Even though it's different from the checkerboard that they've been doing all year, it fits.
Still looks awesome. And it's a definite upgrade over. Like, I get what they were doing last year's with the state and everything. You want to talk about an incomplete jersey. It was nothing else on the front. And it was just like, what is this? This is, and I love the font they used, like huge upgrade for Carolina. But yeah, I think this is one of the best overall capsules of throwback jerseys we've gotten.
Are we sure that Phillies isn't a nod to Fresh Prince?
It could be.
The more I'm thinking about it, like, I mean, I guess the Fresh Prince logo is kind of like a pinkish purple, but like, it makes a little sense.
Yeah, in a way. But I know they've been using like the neon green on all of their graphics this year, and I like pointed that out a couple weeks ago, and I love that they've been doing that. And I think just also like they didn't view neon green as like a throwback type color, so they just darkened the green.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the closest? Let's make it Kelly green. But I also just view it as like it's very mummers to me. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think it's cool. I have it in my cart right now because I have my MVP discount ready to go from the PLL app. And Deej, you're on MVP level, right? Hoots, are you on MVP?
No, I'm about halfway, I want to say.
We're going to get Hoots to MVP by the end of the year.
Oh, I'll be there. Especially after the Code Rush.
I say that Code Rush today definitely had to help.
Code Rush was popping, and you guys can download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store, or go to pll.app. It's the best way to keep up to date with everything going on in the PLL, from articles, videos, trivia, PLL fantasy, and a whole lot more. Download the PLL app, go to the redeem code section, type in OTBPOD, that's OTB pod. You get 500 XP on your account when you use our code. Again, that's code OTB pod for 500 XP on your account in the PLL app. On top of Throwback Weekend, it's Hall of Fame Weekend. 3 of the 4 legends we kind of know on a personal level, Deej, Joe Walters, K18, and obviously Paul Rabel. Kevin Lavelle also going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, loaded Hall of Fame class this weekend. Pretty cool that they're all going in together, especially those 3. And we talked about this when the class got announced, but pretty sweet that, 3 guys who took a chance on the PLL existing, and then obviously with K18 and Joe Walters like making that jump and joining Paul, and the vision he had to go in together is like the first grouping of players where it's like, holy shit, we watched them play in the PLL is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I also think just this group of guys coming in together is significant because they were all playing around the same time. And they're significant to an entire generation and group of lacrosse players who are all trying to be Kevin Lavelle, Joe Walters, Kyle Harrison, Paul Rabel. Like, this is a generation of guys that were a part of the transition from old school lacrosse, where it's just like put your head down and just work hard, dive down the alley and rip one, to, okay, look up different stringing techniques on YouTube, watch a guy do his shooting routine on YouTube, be able to sit and watch old games on YouTube and study them, and watch how this guy strings his pocket and what sticks in gear he likes to use so you can use it. And now he's posting all his highlights and explaining them himself so that you can try and emulate it in your backyard. Like, just this transition of lacrosse from old to modern, they signify that. And it's for a large group of people. And I think this is a time period and a group that is going to really stamp the change that lacrosse has made. Looking at this group and looking at when they came in and where they left, I think it's really going to hopefully open some people's eyes to what the PLL has done for lacrosse and the struggles of the MLL and how they have changed because of the PLL and vice versa. There were some things that the MLL did do better than the PLL and some things the PLL starts to work on. But when you look at the careers of these four guys and how they played out and how they impacted lacrosse, this group couldn't have been any stronger.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about just like a bunch of dudes who like you said, you say influence like the next generation. You see how many guys that are playing in the league now just continually talk about Kyle Harrison, Joe Walters, Paul Rabel as being influences on their game and what they mean to the sport, and couldn't be happier for the four of them. And very excited to see them get their gold jackets this weekend in Chicago. We had street lacrosse happen today as well, and boat lacrosse as well. Lonzo Ball and Taco Fall bars pulled up to street lacrosse. Scotty Royster just giving Lonzo a couple of pointers. No big deal. How you doing? I fear Scotty being like the brains of the operation of Stick Talk. Now that he's hanging out with Lonzo and Kay Adams and Taco Fall and all these, I fear I'm missing out on my window to get on Stick Talk at this point.
Yeah, bro, you got to get in quick. I finessed my way on there. So I do technically have OTB covered. We have made our canon appearance on Stick Talk, and we are
feel like it's slipping away.
The universe. But yeah, it's slowly slipping. But you know what? They did tell us that we need to do an official Stick Talk OTB crossover pod. So that is kind of in the back pocket.
My DMs are always open.
That was them that said it and not us. So I mean, they kind of owe us.
The DMs are always open.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't say it's too far out the realm, but
I feel like
it ain't looking good.
I feel like the video meme of the Spider-Man cartoon when he's like reaching for Mary Jane when she's like a smoke cloud or whatever. That's what I feel like. I'm Spider-Man and the smoke cloud is of Mary Jane is Stick Talk, and I'm just slowly slipping away. But yeah, boat lacrosse looks sweet. Street lacrosse looked awesome, and we're getting 3 street laxes this year in Chicago. Obviously, that happened. They're going back to New York, which I'm not surprised in the slightest, obviously with Kevin Durant's involvement. And they're going to Atlanta, which was a surprise because I'm just wondering how and when that's getting worked into the schedule. But that was kind of like, whoa, they haven't been to Atlanta since 2019. But street lacrosse is awesome. Like, Deej, you and I were there in Philly last year, and it's a vibe. And I can't wait for street lacrosse to be a true open run where like anyone who pulls up can just hop in and play.
Yes, that is when street lacrosse will take a jump. I think it's a fun event. I think a lot of people come out and enjoy it. I think it's something the PLL likes to do, but once there's kind of just some free play going on, maybe they're in a spot like, a bigger park that has 2, 3, 4 courts and they're running multiple games at once. Like, that's when people are going to be like, oh, I need to make it to street lacrosse. Like, oh, I want to go play street lacrosse. They're making a whole spectacle out of it. I think that's when it takes kind of that next step. Or I was thinking about this earlier. They find a way to make it a little more competitive and stream it. Even if it's just on YouTube and it's kind of just like this, like all-star street lacrosse game that's got like the biggest PLL names of the year and kind of just this big thing. Like, I think that's kind of the next step is taking the vibe that is already there and established and, you've cultivated and enhancing it and boosting it to the next level.
I also think of street lacrosse like when it gets to the point, and this is going to be a long time from now, but when it just gets to the point of like the Rucker Park, like open runs, and you just have like Brendan O'Neill shows up to a park, and then by word of mouth and social media, like people are like, yo, Brendan O'Neill's playing street lacrosse at so-and-so park, and then just people pull up, or like Trevor Baptiste and Miles Jones pulled up, to Rucker Park and are playing street lacrosse, like with the New York Atlas. Like when it gets to that point too, that's what gets me like super excited about like the future of street lacrosse. And DG, you and I have talked about it. Like we want to find a way to like host an OTB like street lacrosse run and like do a tournament or something and have some fun with it like in our backyards and find a way to spin it off and like build it out, because I think that's how street lacrosse grows too, is like you have people attend like the PLL's open runs, and then people like go and do it on their own and have open runs of their own. That's what makes street lacrosse grow, and I think it's the coolest concept ever.
And it's so close to being like unlocked to this thing where it's like people are going to be trying to do it on their own, or it's set up to be a thing at every single PLL weekend where it's like, okay, like if we do, they say they go back to Saturday, Sunday games every Friday evening or, every Friday afternoon in that city or nearby city, there's going to be street lacrosse. Come out, play, have a good time, and they always open it up maybe with one of those 3v3 games with some of the PLL players. They open it up and then boom, they open up the court or courts for some free play games for whoever's there. You do that every week, people are going to buy into it, and it's so close to happening. And it could be a thing where they're asking fans to kind of be the liaison and set it up for their area and get people to sign up and play, or they can do it this thing where like the PLL is setting it up and doing it and kind of just inviting the community to come out and enjoy.
Street lacrosse, I also feels like needs to be a tentpole of All-Star Weekend. I feel like every All-Star Weekend, like to make it a true like feeling of an All-Star, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like you said, Friday night is street lacrosse somewhere in that All-Star city's
celebrity/media game.
Yes.
That'd be a great way to, open up All-Star. Friday night street lacrosse with just celebrity.
That's the way to do it.
Get that thing on ESPN. Hey, mama, I made it.
Bang. Hoots is like Squidward right now watching me and you run like SpongeBob and Patrick because we've been to street lacrosse, and Hoots is like, one day.
I'm just listening.
He's like, I can't even.
He's just like, I'm just in jail.
I just remember the text messages from you last year at the event, like insane. Freaking out.
Dude, my mom having a full-on conversation with Flavor Flav is still the most wild occurrence of my life.
Like you,
like I'm shocked they're not texting buddies. The way that they were conversing for as long as they were. I genuinely think outside of maybe Paul, the longest conversation Flavor Flav had in a standing moment was with my mother.
I think so, actually.
Which, like I take so much pride in that. Like, shout out to my mom for just being like, yo, I love you. We're going to chop it up. And it's so hysterical just thinking of Flavor Flav being obviously Public Enemy and then Flavor of Love. And then his third act is talking to my mom.
We gotta get a pod set up, just them two, and they can
I love Flavor Flav, man.
Whatever.
I think that would be our most watched pod.
Yes,
so hysterical. But yeah, I mean, Street Lax is just it's awesome, and like you said, Deej, Friday nights would be amazing for it to be a tentpole of every weekend, especially I feel like it's such an all-star weekend thing to make it, pop out, and you're bringing people in non-traditional, markets out to kind of get their first glimpse of the sport and an easy way to get sticks in hands and stuff like that.
And a fun, loose, freestyle way. It's not It's kind of like
there's no pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of like introducing somebody to basketball and like just playing pickup at the park with your friends, or like football, just running routes in the backyard, or playing like tackle. Like soccer, playing World Cup. Like there's a lot of ways to kind of just like introduce somebody to a sport, and I think this is a fun way to do it while showing them high level to begin, and then letting them have fun while also having this festival like feel to it as well.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out Lonzo and Taco Fall though for pulling up in Chicago. Before we keep it pushing, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Be like Josh Balkersell, rock OTB all season long. PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it. Get your official Outside the Box podcast t-shirts and hoodies available from our awesome merch partners. And when you fill up your cart, go to the checkout bar where the promo code section is, type in code underground. You'll get 10% off your next merch order from PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's code underground at phiapparel.co, and you'll get 10% off your next merch order. Stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of the Outside the Box podcast and Underground Sports Philadelphia. We've got games to talk about, boys. We've got solo weekends for each team, all teams playing for the first time in a given weekend this weekend, as it's a neutral site. We've got New York Atlas, Boston Cannons on ESPN2 Friday night at 7 Eastern, followed by the Utah Archers and Philadelphia Water Dogs at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Then on Saturday, Carolina, California, 7 p.m. on ESPN+. And then it gets wrapped up Saturday Night Lacrosse, the Denver Outlaws, the Maryland Whipsnakes, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Hoots, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to this weekend? What are some things that are popping off the page for Throwback Weekend in Chicago?
Excited to see Boston play New York for a number of reasons. I think this is a chance for New York to kind of show that they can hang with the top team still and that they are a top team. I think Philly and Utah is going to be a great matchup as well. Just same type of situation, honestly. And I think getting Trey Leclerc back for Utah is huge. Signing Jake Naso, first time seeing him in the league as well. That's probably my top thing I'm looking forward to this weekend, is seeing how Jake Naso plays. And then, I not much in that next game. Of course, last time I said that, Carolina looked good, so we'll see how that plays out. And then finally, hoping for another win for Denver. Kind of nervous with TJ Malone being back, and no Matt Rambo this week also. So lots
and
of
the
stuff.
Whips are fully rested. The Whips have not played since Baltimore.
What is that, 3 weeks then between games?
So they're off San Diego, off All-Star, and now going into basically 3 weeks.
It's a little scary.
Nice and fully rested at the midway point. I do have a fun stat here, Deej, before I let you rip off your thoughts for that Boston-New York game. The PLL put this out. If Boston wins their matchup against New York, they have a 46% chance of clinching that bye. And if they lose, it's just a 14% chance. And if New York wins, they get a 50% chance at the bye. And if they lose, it's down to 11%. So a lot is on the line in that matchup to kick off this weekend in Chicago between two of the Eastern Conference best rosters. But that's fascinating that we're first game out of All-Star, and it's like, yeah, your playoff seeding is on the line pretty much going into this matchup.
Hey, short season woes. You ain't got no weeks off. Every game matters. And I think that's the coolest thing is and you can see it in the play, is that they know every single week matters, every single game matters. So they're going out there and they're trying to win every single game. And you can see the effect that one loss earlier in the year has on a team. You lose week one, in the moment, you're like, okay, not a big deal. We'll bounce back next week, whatever. But then you fast forward, you're in week 7. You're thinking back about that loss in week 1, especially if it was a 1 or 2 goal loss, and going, man, if we win that game, we're in this position instead of this position. So every week matters. And these are the weeks that kind of point that out. But like this weekend, I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be back in person. Haven't been at a PLL weekend this year until since Philly. So it's been some time. So I'm excited for that standpoint. What I'm least excited about is that I'll be coming in hot for the Woods game on Saturday. My last game is 6 p.m. Eastern time. This game starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It is a hour drive, and games are 50 minutes long. So you can do the math here. I'm literally going to be coming in hot and will most likely miss the beginning of this game. But I don't think that will be the first time I've missed the beginning of a Woods game because I was coming in hot to a weekend. So it's not terrible, but I would have liked to have been seated and ready to go at face-off for that game. Obviously, the opener on Friday night is going to be amazing. 3-2 playing for that first place seed in the Eastern Conference, and then I'm really excited, obviously, for the Western Conference mashup that exists. Right, when you look at it, both the Eastern and Western Conference have crazy mashups right now. You know what's going to happen with the 1 and 2, kind of, or how that picture will play out. One team's going to be in significant better place after Friday night than the other, but also they're going to be super in tune for that next game after they play to find out if Philly's moving into second or if they're going to be, kind of locked in that tie for second/third. Because if they win their game, they may even be in first, depending on score differential and things of that nature, versus being possibly in second or third because they lose that game. And then also, Atlas is looking. Do I want to be in third place? Possibly, or Atlas/Cannons, loser of that game is, okay, maybe I'm in third place instead of second place. And it changes a lot knowing that Philly is playing after you and having the same record as you. But then you look over at the West, there's 3 teams this weekend playing with a 2-3 record. And there's one team playing with a 3-2 record. And that 3-2 team is actually playing a team from the East. So all the West teams are looking at the Whipsnakes like, yo, we don't want you to, but can you do that thing for us and win a game? Because then, things shake out very weird. Woods are in a great position to possibly grab that 1 seed back if they win their game and Denver loses theirs. So there's a lot of playoff seeding implications going into this weekend. And with it being Throwback Weekend, Hall of Fame weekend, a neutral site, so everyone's playing, there's just a ton of excitement going into this weekend, and it can't really be a bad weekend, in my opinion. Everybody's coming back from the All-Star break. They're ready to get back on the field. They're ready to make that move to solidify that bye or get themselves a playoff spot. And coming back to Chicago for the first time since 2019, I think is a perfect place to have a weekend like this.
And I mean, you look at both conferences. I'll start with it. Like, there's a non-zero chance the Water Dogs, even though New York and Boston are playing each other, one of those teams is going to end up 4-2. There's still a non-zero chance that both of those teams are not in first place in the East by the end of the weekend, because the Water Dogs could go into that game against the Archers, fix their score differential enough, because the Atlas are in first place now, but they only have a +4 score differential. Boston's in second with a +1, and Philly's 0. There's a non-zero chance the Water Dogs end up in first place over one of those 2 teams, and one of them will be catching a win against the other. And then the same thing can happen in the West between the Outlaws, Redwoods, and Archers, that if score differentials play out the way they want it to, and, some team wins, some team loses, we could see the Redwoods in first place, the Outlaws maintain first place, the Archers jump to first place. There's going to be a lot of movement in the standings this weekend, and it makes it, like you said, DJ, it makes it all the better because every team is playing, so everyone's going to have a front row seat to see how these standings kind of play out, and who knows what's going to happen. Like, we have great matchups. New York and Boston is a phenomenal rivalry already. Utah and Philly, whenever they play, it's super close. It's great tactical, like, amazing lacrosse. Carolina and California, rivalry. Denver and Maryland, interconference matchup. Who knows what can happen between those 2? it's just I think excitement is the word to describe going into this weekend. You have the pomp and circumstance of Hall of Fame. You have the vibes of Throwback Weekend, and then the games are just as advertised, and we're going to see some unbelievable shifting of just like each conference kind of being shaken up and seeing how things kind of situate themselves the first week out of an All-Star break. Which I think one thing we do have for the first time, and you guys can all do this, you can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/OTB-LaxPod. That voicemail line is always open. It's the How We Live In hotline. You got to always start your voicemail with How We Live In honor of Nat St. Laurent. Leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/OTB-LaxPod. It's linked in the description. Let us know your thoughts. It's always open, so you can leave us a voicemail during games, if you're at the games, whatever it may be. Speakpipe.com/OTB-LaxPod. We do have one voicemail this week from our good pal Josh from the Lost in the Woods podcast.
How we living, boys? It's Josh from the Lost in the Woods podcast, and I was calling because I wanted to get your thoughts on the second half of the season and the playoff race that's shaping up in the West. We got 3 teams tied for second place technically. Who do you think is going to be the odd man out at the end of the season? Appreciate it, boys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Shout out to Josh for calling in. Kind of answered the first half already there. I mean, it's anyone's game still in terms of who can miss out on the playoffs. You look at the gambling odds right now, the sports books are saying it's going to be the Whip Snakes and the Chaos that miss out on the playoffs based on just the odds. That's kind of where I stand right now, just on what we've seen through the first half of the season and what can happen. But I mean, we've learned in the past, don't doubt Jim Stagnita. And we've seen crazy things happen in this league where this weekend can truly determine a lot about what the playoff race is going to be and can shake a lot of things on its head. Genuinely, it's the playoffs right now. I still, even with Chaos's score differential, it's wide open until that final week of the season. That's just the beauty of this league.
Yeah, I'm going to say one thing. I think the only prediction I have from the beginning of the season that's in trouble is Chaos only winning 2 games, because they've already done that. So yes. I got them losing out. Not good, not good. But other than that, I think, like you said, I pretty much answered the playoff question. The other thing I have to say is, if my prediction about the Woods hits and they get to 6-4, I think they're safe. I think that's kind of where you want to be. I think even 6-4 and Utah and Chaos are also 6-4. I think the Woods are going to have a better score differential than those two and are going to get themselves a spot, or at least one of the two, to get themselves a spot in the playoffs. So I think 6-4 is the magic number for the Redwoods. May not be the magic number for some other teams, but I'm going to have to say Chaos and Whip Snakes that's what I had in prediction, and that's kind of where I still am at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's hard to choose. It is hard to choose because everybody's right there in the same place. Everybody's kind of got the same record. Nobody's playing leaps and bounds better than anyone else. So it's hard to choose right now. So I'm kind of just defaulting to what I had at the beginning.
I feel the exact same. Honestly, I don't want to count anybody out, but I mean, I think Carolina, the -17 is just going to be, they're going to have to overcome so much to get over. They're going to have to win by 4 goals every game and win out or get close to it. Maryland, I feel pretty good about. They could possibly sneak in there, especially because they're only 1 game behind all these other teams with the +12. That gives them a ton of cushion, and they can add on to it, which I think will get kind of hairy later in the year, depending on kind of what happens. But I think right now I'd still take Maryland and Carolina to miss. But like you said, that could, drastically shift over the next couple of weeks, even this week. And all of a sudden we're talking about a different playoff picture.
Plus, on top of that, the trade deadline is the week before the final week of the regular season. So, like, so much can change. Like, I mean, this week, I know he's not active, but, like, even this week, like, Jules Henningberg gets signed by the Cannons. Like, on a whim, something can change. So, that's the beauty of the PLL in my book. So, I think without any further ado, we head on over to the pick pond and we dish out our Chicago Throwback Weekend picks of the week as I cue up the music. It is the PLL Chicago picks of the week, brought to you by our pals over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV. 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly.
No better week to feed duckies.
No better week to feed the ducks than in Chicago. Plus, I sent you boys some fun stuff.
I was talking about because it's Throwback Week.
Oh, yeah, of course. Chicago, Throwback, bang. Look at the logos on social media, and you know. We got some duck paraphernalia coming to the studio, which is very exciting. That will be up very soon. I think it gets delivered Friday, which is sweet.
Fire stuff.
You know what I was thinking? Speaking of ducks, before we get to the picks, I was thinking if we can find like rubber ducks that have lacrosse sticks, we should just order them in bulk and bring them with us to PLL weekends.
Oh my god!
And that'd be like our shtick.
Them out. Oh my god, that would be sick.
I gotta look into that.
And honestly, I might be able to work some magic and find us somebody to make us lacrosse sticks if we need to. And then we can just put them in the rubber ducky's hands and give them away. You know, we use a little glue, a little like wood glue or something, and glue them down. But yeah, it's doable regardless of
there's something there. Or even if we just find like a very niche like rubber duck that like matches up with our stuff. But we start Throwback Weekend, ESPN2, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the New York Atlas, the Boston Cannons. Deej, I'll start with you. How do you see this one playing out to kick off Chicago weekend?
I'm going to go Atlas. I had Cannons for a little bit, but Liam Entenmann has been on a roll. And like, we're really just, they're right on the outside of it too. We're just waiting on this Atlas offense to really unlock. And we know the potential of that. Not saying it's going to be this weekend, but it could be. And I just really think for me, it's coming down to, I believe the Atlas having a slightly better defense and goalie than the Cannons at the moment.
Hoots, what you got?
I have no idea. If the trend continues, Jeff Teat should have an incredible game because he's kind of flip-flopping good games back and forth. I agree with Deej. The goaltending's immaculate. Their offense is immaculate, especially if Jeff Teat is playing well. I'll ride with the Atlas.
I'm bringing the boom this week. I'm going with the Cannons. When I was looking at the matchup, some just said Cannons this week. So I'm riding with the Nooners, the Boom Squad, and I'm rocking with Marcus Holman, Asher Nolting, and the Cannons. We move to 9:30 Eastern On ESPN Plus, an interconference matchup, the Utah Archers and the Philadelphia Water Dogs. Hoots, how you see this one going down?
I see this one being incredibly close, as it always is. I like Trey LeClaire getting back for Utah. How quickly does he get back into form? I don't know. Does that also unlock Mac O'Keefe? I would venture to say yes, but obviously they have to prove that. And I really think Jake Naso is going to have a good day, even with Ice-Custard-Happiness being as good as he's been.
They have faced each other, too, in the NLL, because Jake was with Saskatchewan and Alec was at Vancouver.
And I didn't look at, like, the percentages from those games, but I just think that experience will be good. It wouldn't shock me to see Philly pull off a win. I'm assuming DeLuca starting in net again. But because of Trey and Jake, I'm going to take Utah.
I am, like, from just a overall PLL standpoint, I'm excited for Trey to be back. Like, the league's better when he's playing. He's unbelievable. He is playing at attack, which is his natural position, with Matt Moore being out, which I think is definitely a problem for the Archers, because you saw that in their last game when Matt got injured. Like, the offensive production like disappeared against New York. But overall, I really like, for the most part, what the Water Dogs defense has been able to do. I don't know who's going to be playing in goal. Dylan Ward played in California. Matt DeLuca could play this week. Who knows? But I think what Jack Hanna has been able to do out of the midfield for the Water Dogs has been awesome. And I think him just like getting to showcase it in the All-Star game, not that like matters for the team wise, but like I think for him just gaining a little more confidence in his shot selection and not being afraid to just pull trigger at any moment is a good thing for this Water Dogs offense. And while Naso is going to be very fun and I'm intrigued to see what he does, hasn't played all season. He's kind of been off since Saskatchewan lost in the NLL finals. Stathakis has been on a roll. He's had a resurgent sophomore season so far. And just from a consistency factor and what I've loved about the offense, and Kieran McCardle is 2 points away from 500. Shout out to the boy. I'm going with the Dogs.
Give me just a second. I want to check something to make sure I have this correct before I say something. This game will come down to Dylan Hess, Matt Witcher, and Christian Scarpella. If you've been paying attention to socials recently, there is a clip out of yours truly explaining how the parameters have changed, and playing defense against the Utah Archers is extremely different this year than it has been in years past. You're leaving your defenders out on islands to guard these guys. It includes your short stick D-mids. Your short stick D-mids aren't having a good day. That means lots of midfielders or attackmen are taking open hand shots on your goalie. Sounds like open season and lots of goals. But I have a lot of trust in the Water Dogs defense and their goaltending, regardless of who is between the pipes. The face-off stripe will be a fun matchup. And let's not forget, Sowers is leading the league in assists. And he brought up Jack Hanna, who's been a great initiator from the midfield. I'm going to slide in favor of the Water Dogs due to the fact that the Archers have just struggled to put points on the board this year. And I can't count on them to put up enough this time to win.
Which brings us to Saturday. Carolina, California. Nice little Western Conference rivalry matchup. Deej has already given you his pick if you're watching on YouTube. He's rolling them.
Roll them Woods, baby. Week in and week out.
Hoots, how do you see this one playing out?
Same exact way. I'm probably doing myself a disservice here by not giving Carolina a chance. But I just have so much more faith in everything that the Redwoods have done this year. Obviously, I think the last time I said the Chaos were going to win, they got blown out by like 14 goals or whatever it was. So I'm going to stay away from them again and go with the Woods.
One thing that I do like about what Carolina's been able to do is Justin Inacio has looked great at the stripe. I don't know if TD is 100%, going into this one. So that's definitely like a mini cause for concern. And like we mentioned last week, Deej, the Redwoods have had difficulties closing games this season. So that's definitely an issue when you're playing against Blaze Reardon and this defense. I don't know. This is one of those things very similar to the first game that I just looked at the board and I said, yeah, I like that. I'm going with Chaos. Going with Chaos. I don't know why. It just spoke to me, and I think the TD thing is an overreaction by me, but it's just something that every time I went back and looked at this game, it concerned me, and I'm going with Carolina.
You're a weirdo.
Not the worst thing anybody's called me.
I wasn't trying to insult you.
Won't be the last time I'm called that either.
Facts. I will definitely call you a weirdo again.
Final game, Saturday Night Lacrosse on ESPN+. The Denver Outlaws, the Maryland Whipsnakes. I mean, the Outlaws are the hottest team in the PLL by win streak, and I like what they've been doing as of late, so I'm going with the Outlaws.
I mean, that guy got the loss. I'm going to take the loss, too. That's the only time I'm rocking with the law. No, I'm playing. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I swear.
The laws-abiding citizen.
I am. I am. You know this.
Which means by proxy, because we're going for the clean sweep, the Maryland Whipsnakes are going to win by 12.
Now, why would you say that? Why would you even throw that kind of energy out in the world?
Because that's just what happens.
But hey,
even when we don't throw it up.
Hey, listen, low key, that wouldn't be the worst thing. As a Redwoods fan, that is not the worst thing that can happen.
I mean, my biggest look into this game is like, can Logan McNaney is he capable of continuing to do what he's done since he's been put in cage for the Outlaws? He's just been on another planet.
He doesn't look like he's going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, because that man was taking the All-Star game seriously like it was a regular season game.
Hey, but they were making a good point on the broadcast saying, like, as goalie, you kind of can't. Like, that's kind of like how you get hurt. Just because of, like, the nature of the position. Like, you kind of have to take it that serious.
I was like, this man is dialed.
No, for real. He was on one.
So there it is. Our throwback Chicago weekend picks of the week. Deej and Hoots are going New York. I'm going with Boston. Deej and I are going Philly. Hoots is going Utah. Deej and Hoots are going California. I'm going Carolina. And then we all have Denver taking down the Whipsnakes. And those are your picks of the week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Fun weekend on deck, Deej. I'm excited to get all the status reports from Chicago and your driving back and forth situation, which I'm sure will be full of excellent rants time and time again.
Oh, just wait till I get caught in the city traffic Saturday. Coming back from yeah, bro. I'm gonna be in the chat screaming. Probably audibly. I might just send a voice message.
That would be hysterical. Truly hysterical.
I mean, you haven't seen traffic. You think you didn't see traffic? Well, no, you didn't been to Atlanta. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I didn't drive there though.
Oh, never mind. Then Yeah,
I was in the back seat.
No, it ain't the same.
I was like getting chauffeured around when I was.
Yeah, it ain't the same. You got to be the one that's angry. Like you got to be in the seat.
Yeah, nah.
Being in the driver's seat is a different feeling during.
No, I've experienced driving in fucking Boston makes me want to just like yeet myself.
Dead fish right out the window. Woo-hoo! While the car's moving right out the window.
Like fucking Mario. Yahoo!
No, for real.
That is the worst place to drive.
One of the worst places to drive.
There and next week when we're going to Connecticut, that traffic makes no sense.
And the random deers that pop in front of your car at like 9 a.m.
I was like, buddy, what is you doing? Should be a fun weekend in Chicago. Looking forward to it. If you're going to be in Chicago, go say what's up to Deej. He'll be there all weekend and send us your photos from Chicago weekend. Be sure to follow us on the socials at OTB LaxPod across the board. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Follow DJ at SCS_next great. Follow me at KBI ZZL311. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia and youtube.com/@OTB LaxPod. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, if the Instagram gets to 1,000 or Twitter gets to 2,000, plus the OTB channel gets to 100 subscribers, OTB Throwback Duck merch. That's how it happens. Be a friend, tell a friend. And be a friend, tell a friend to go visit our friends at Rita's in Sewell, New Jersey to cool off from this absolutely dastardly summer heat. 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey is the address. Check out all of the delicious flavors at ritazice.com and all of your nutritional facts as well for your favorite sweet treats. Again, that's 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey, and visit our friends at Rita's. Tell them that OTB or Underground Sports Philadelphia sent you so that they know, hey, this is where we heard about Rita's in Sewell. We thank Rita's for being a proud presenting partner of the Outside the Box podcast. And this has been a throwback edition of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast network. For Hoots, for Deej, I'm KB. Thanks to Josh for calling into the voicemail line. We will see you back here next week as we prepare for Indigenous Heritage Weekend in Fairfield. Deej, we're going back. It's pizza weekend next weekend.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Sally's, we're coming for you. We'll be in Fairfield next weekend, but until then, we are getting the heck up out of here, everybody. Peace.
Peace.